All right, we're back with our political professionals, Lawrence O'Donnell, Terry Jeffrey, Larry Sabato. Larry Sabato, the headline in the New York Times, which played high up on the Drudge Report today, said the Democrats could actually take the Senate. I want to start with the tough race in Virginia. Senator Allen, you have said that Mr. Allen has a redneck background and he used the N-word when he was younger. I don't want to go through all that with you. What I want to ask you, though, is when Mr. Allen was governor of Virginia, and since then as a senator, has he governed, in your opinion, as a redneck using the N-word?
No, there were certainly things in his governorship, like issuing the Confederate History Proclamation without mentioning slavery, that caused a lot of questions. But I would say that he was a good governor overall.
And I mean, the point I'm trying to make is, when you say things as a younger person, you say things you wish you had never said. I plead guilty to that myself, Lord knows. But as a professional office holder who actually was governor and senator, most people, I think, would say George Allen did not have those attitudes, or if he did, no one saw them because that's not the way he handled it.
I think it is perfectly reasonable for voters to look at the most recent period and give it more emphasis than any other. But, Larry, it's also important for voters to have the full picture and information. That's our job, to give them the information. What they do with it is their business.
Who are you picking between Jim Webb and George Allen right now?
I think Allen will win. I think it'll be a relatively close race. If Webb had more money, he might be able to win. But you know where that Democratic money that might have gone to Jim Webb is going? To New Jersey, where incredibly the Democratic incumbent in that now heavily Democratic state, Bob Menendez, the appointed incumbent, potentially is going to lose to Tom Kean Jr., the son of the former popular Republican governor.
Menendez has a lot of issues, corruption-type issues. He's got to overcome that.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, in New Jersey, that doesn't always defeat you.
Well, I thought they might take him out and put somebody else in, but let's not go there. But that's what they kind of do up there.
They wanted to. They wanted to do that, but Menendez wouldn't step aside.
The online betting parlor, TradeSports.com, I'll read you today's quotes. The closing, 80% now is saying the Republicans will take the Senate. That has not changed. And 56% say the Republicans will keep the House. That, of course, is up from 38%. Lawrence O'Donnell, do you think the Dems can take the Senate? Are the numbers really there?
Larry, my $5 bet is unchanged, that the Democrats are going to take the House and the Senate, and I've felt that for a few months now. I do think there's a momentum out there in the electorate that is not getting picked up in the polls. Yeah, everyone always has to remember that in 1994, at this point in the election campaign, no one was predicting that the Republicans would win either body. And so the momentum, I think, underlying the electorate is going to push all of the questionable states in the Democrats' direction. I think Kean may win in New Jersey, but I actually think Jim Webb now is going to get a tailwind in Virginia and probably take Allen. And, you know, the Allen situation has come down to what these situations usually do. It's really now about lying. It isn't so much about racism and the underlying accusations that erupted. It's really about, is Allen telling us the truth? And what has he known that he hasn't told us the truth about, including even his background and heritage? So that's really what the issue is with the electorate now on Allen.
Terry Jeffrey, a two-part question. Let me start with some economics. Heaven forbid we put content into a political discussion, but you do have rising stock prices. You do have falling gasoline prices. You do have higher economic confidence and optimism. Doesn't that help the GOP?
I think it's definitely weighing in the Republicans' favor right now, Larry, especially the falling gas prices, because I think this summer when the gas prices were going up, people were really mad about it, and now that they're going down, people are getting happier about it. And I don't think the economy is going to help the Democrats at all, and I think it's going to help the Republicans a little. By the way, there's a race that people haven't mentioned you should be looking at. Michael Steele, who's the Republican candidate in Maryland for Senate against Ben Cardin, in the latest poll was up by 1 point. I think he's a real sleeper candidate. I think that can be a pickup for Republicans. Steele, of course, is an African-American conservative. I think he could really revolutionize the United States Senate and make Republicans look at the Northeast a little bit differently than they have in the last couple of decades.
Yeah, it's interesting. You have a possible Republican win in Jersey. You have a possible Republican win in Maryland. Larry Sabato, can you just give me some one-worders to close this down? Tennessee, Harold Ford versus Bob Corker. My pal Harold Ford and Corker, we had him on for debate. Who are you picking?
That is a total toss-up. I'd still have to give Corker a slight edge, but I'll tell you, I think Ford's doing well.
He is doing well. Montana, Mr. Tester, John Tester versus Conrad Burns. Who you picking?
Tester will beat Burns.
Pennsylvania, Rick Santorum, Bob Casey.
Bob Casey Jr.
He's going to win. And the Rhode Island race, Lincoln Chafee.
That one I don't know. Total toss-up.
All right, so in sum, you're saying the Republicans hold the Senate, Larry Sabato?
Yes, barely couple seats.
O'Donnell, you're saying the Democrats take both houses.
Yes, I am.
All right, Terry Jeffrey, how do you see it?
It'll be close, but the Republicans will hold the Senate. I think there's a chance the Democrats win the House.
Really?
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. All right, well, my right on the money take is right now I think the GOP will carry both houses. But then again, we've got a couple of weeks to go. Lawrence O'Donnell, thank you. Terry Jeffrey, as always, Larry Sabato, we appreciate it. Up next, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld is under fire. We're going to debate his handling of the war in Iraq.